Okay, people. Yeah. Fuck Valentine's Day. F Valentine's Day. I think it's listed slightly differently in wherever you go, right? But it is a new film from Mark Gantt, written by Steve Bencich. Right? It is produced by Bo Youngblood, along with Nancy Leopardi, John Laradi. We have got Michael Leon Cassutt. It is co-produced by Joshua Kazar-Gaspar, Alon Michael Hatting, right? And it is executive produced by Welly Yang, Jordan Wagner, Victoria Termina, Daniel Sheldon, Philip W. Schultz, Ramin Portimure, Bruce Petrie, Batia Parnas, Alan Powell, Mike Page, Chad Oliver, Victoria Martinoon, Natalie Marciano, Jerry Ivy, Eric Goslan, Danielle Gasher, Arlie Day, Luke Daniels, and Devon Boyd, with Robert Abua as a consulting producer. Okay, Woody Pack handled the score. Andrew Russo is on cinematography. Editing duties are handled by Karsten Kurpank. Right, Arlie Day and Mike Page also handled the casting duties. Right, Daniel Broadhurst and Pavel Tuzlov are production design. Art direction is Blake Nakua and Kyle Samut. Right, we got Carter Bowden and Kyra Barsamontes as set decorators. And Kate Adams is wardrobe costumes. Hair and makeup, we have Tanya Cardona, Mafia Katina Lee, Esther Orsini, and Janine Stacks. Right, with Audrey Chekuti on stunts. Right, so our cast, we have Gina, played by Virginia Gardner. Her mother, Wendy, is played by Marissa Tomei. She's got her neighbor, Trisha, played by Natasha Legario, and Trisha's husband, Steve, played by Lil Rail Howery. Then there is her boyfriend, Andrew, played by Skylar Astin. We have got Johnny, our pizza owner, played by Jake Cannavale. He's, let's say, other Mickey, played by Sabrina Bartlett. Right? We then have got a younger version of Gina, played by Drew Cheek. The priest is played by Henry Zamet Cordina. Like everyone else, it's just kind of like passing peoples, right? I mean, Athena is played by Valentina Termina, right? But it's just wedding guests and hotel guests and all of that kind of thing. So we can skip all of those, right? And I guess we can get to the gist of the film. Right, so Gina hates her Valentine's Day birthday and travels to Greece to prevent her boyfriend's proposal. Not true. With help from vacationers Johnny and Mickey, she schemes to delay it while questioning her relationship. That's not true at all, right? Which is bonkers. It's one of those weird things because the whole thing being, right, she's with a guy and he he books a trip for them for her birthday, Valentine's Day. Because, right, her birthday is February the 14th, right? So that's the thing. He books a trip because he's seen this thing on her fridge all year, he says. That's it. And it's not until a little bit later that she realizes that he might be going to propose to her, right? So, you know, it essentially starts off with she finds this tortoise. It's owned by, Andrew. And that leads them to be dating. Now, the thing with this film, right? I mean, essentially, listen, it's your standard rom-com, right? If you love the standard rom-com, right? Like The Last Bridget Jones, if that's your jam, then Valentine's Day is probably going to be for you. You know what I mean? If you like, well, I think it's Hotel for Dogs, right? Just any of those films that we have covered and hated. If you like those, then you're going to like Valentine's Day, right? But the thing with it is the whole essentially story makes no sense. You know what I mean? Because the whole thing being she doesn't want to be proposed to on her birthday, Valentine's Day, because of, past history, right? Things that she's just like, oh, yes, right? So she doesn't want to be proposed to on Valentine's Day, and she's afraid her boyfriend is going to do that. Here's the thing, though, right? They've been dating for a year, right? They've been dating for a year. So in that time, are you telling me that he hasn't heard her go, I would hate for this to happen, right? The amount of times I've been at a restaurant and someone's got engaged, right? I've been out and about and you see someone getting engaged. Even seeing it on TV, right? You might be watching a NFL, another sports thing, right? And you see people getting engaged, right? Even if it's on TV, in a film, there's things that you see, right? And if you're with someone, you'd be like, what would you do in that situation? You know, I'd be like, I'd be mortified. I would hate if you did this thing. Like, we have those conversations all the time, right? So you're trying to tell us that after a year together, Andrew and Gina have never had that conversation. It just does not, it's stupid. It doesn't ring true at all, right? That's the big issue. At least make us believe in the possibility of the thing. And at no point do you believe in the possibility of the thing, right? And then it's just, doing the typical things, right? I mean, even just the rant at the beginning just doesn't feel real, right? It all feels just, we need to do this thing so then we can go here with the story. That's what it always feels like, right? Nothing feels like it's coming from truth. And the big thing being, right? So Andrew is very sporty. Someone else in the film is very sporty, right? Which then makes you go, oh, they're going to put these two together, right? And there's these two other people who are not sporty, who are everything but sporty, like eating a lot of junk food, right? Don't work out at all. Now, when you say don't work out at all, but you still have a point where they're running and they're not like drenched in sweat, right? Where you're just like, wait, hold on, what? But you can't have everyone the same size if you're saying two people aren't very healthy. Now, I'm not saying they've got to be like Brendan Fraser in The Whale, right? They don't have to be that huge, but they should be slightly bigger at least than your two health freak characters. That's the thing that makes sense, right? You can't have everyone looking pretty healthy if you're saying two people are not. You know what I mean? Like it's just defeats the whole kind of impetus of what you are supposedly trying to say with this story, you know? And that's the issue really. It's just like the concept makes no sense because it would not happen, right? The idea that two people are meant to be unhealthy makes no sense because they are clearly not, right? So we have these issues. I mean, the fact that Johnny's delivering pizza and he owns a pizza place, but it's meant to be a busy pizza place. You'd be like, if it's really busy, all of that, then they'd employ someone, right? Because you would want more than one person in the kitchen. Like, if you're meant to be that busy, you know? Now, if you said it was a spot that's not doing that well, then you could go, okay, yes, he is doing deliveries because they can't afford anything else. Not what they're saying, though, right? And that's the problem with these kind of films, right? They want to go, oh, this is the quirky thing we're doing. And then you go, yeah, but that would make no sense whatsoever, story-wise. What are we saying here, you know? And that's the thing, right? That's the thing, people. It is just very, very fucking odd, right? The performances are just like, you know, it's that typical rom-com over-the-topness. You know, it's very like the massage scene. We've seen it so many times. It's just kind of boring now. It's just like, come on, like, I think everyone's probably had a massage at this point, right? Like back in the day, maybe massage is expensive. You know, not everyone's doing it nowadays. Like you can get a mad cheap Groupon. Everyone's doing it. Everyone's had one at least. So you know what I mean? We know what it feels like, right? So then to have the character be like, "Arr," and then we get someone make a very weird comment from it, right? And you're just like, they make a, you might be able to hear the foxes that seem to be having a very good time outside, right? I think, yeah, they're just going with the beginning of the title. You know what I'm saying? Like, but yeah, we get a character make this crazy comment, but then go, you can't ask me those questions. And it's just like, yo, open the door with your stupid comment. You can't say what you said and then try and act like, oh, I don't talk about those things. It's just very bizarre. Very, very bizarre. And the end, I wanted to shoot myself at the end. The end was just like, oh, come the fuck on. Oh, and don't even get me started on the box. Don't even get me started on the box. Because there is no way. There is no way. Firstly, there was space. Secondly, well, be alive, right? I mean, you know, it's just not happening. That was just like, wait, what are we doing? What are we doing? But yeah, this wasn't for me. But as I said at the start, if you enjoy the typical rom-com. You know, the one Netflix and Prime have been churning out the last few years, you know, kind of thing that you find on the Hallmark channel, right? If that is your jam, then F Valentine's Day, fuck Valentine's Day is most definitely probably gonna be for you.